Thank you for watching MMA Oddsbreaker, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Frank Trigg, and yes, that is Mac Danzig. Mac, what's going on since the last time we talked?
Not much, man. Just training hard, living the life.
Do you realize that you're one of the few? I can't think of another guy. Actually, I've been kind of looking at this. One of the few single parents in the sport of MMA. Like you had, I mean, like Gray's got help. I had help when I was training. Everyone's kind of got help. You have a little bit of help too, but you're really kind of an all-around family guy. Plus, you're an all-around fighter all the time. How are you trying to keep it together with Nova's needs and your needs as an athlete?
that's the hardest thing, but I guess love gets me through. As corny as that sounds, I mean it's true though. I mean like that's what gets me through it. It's really hard, but I think the hardest time I had in that respect was last year leading up to the Efren Escudero fight, and I was trying to do all this other stuff in my life, and I was trying to buy my first house, and I was had my daughter 100% on my own, and trying to train for that fight. And what I taught myself is that I can totally do it. It's possible. It's not easy, but it can be done if you care enough, and if you put in enough work, and it's all positive. And I watched my mom raise me by herself, and so that gave me a lot of encouragement. And luckily right now this summer I've got my mom out here staying with me helping. So that really helps out a lot. I mean, she's going to be with Nova while I'm up in Seattle, so it's going to be good.
Well, I'm looking at your record. During what you said was the hardest time was Efren Escudero. You won a
Yeah,
split decision against him. The next fight was Takanori Gomi, and you lost a split decision to him. What was
yeah.
different in the Takanori Gomi fight?
The judges don't know what they're doing. I mean, I
Yep.
don't know what else to say. I mean, like, look, all three of those judges that judged my fight had, and the Gomi fight, had never ever scored or judged an MMA fight before in their lives. And I mean, look, it is what it is. I'm not going to complain, make excuses, but like I felt like it it was the same type of situation as the Efren fight. Efren had a moment or two, and Gomi had a moment or two. It is what it is. That I don't want to get off on a rant about MMA scoring, but there's definitely some issues with the way 10-9 rounds are scored for a 3-round fight. This isn't a 12-round boxing match. So if you get dropped, or they think you got dropped because you fell off balance, and all of a sudden you lose the round the same way if a boxer gets dropped to a knee by a punch. It's silly. So anyway, I don't know. I felt like there was equal pressure for both fights, and I felt like I could have done better in both fights, but I thought I won both of them. But that's the way the sport goes. If you don't finish the guy, then you could end up on any end, win
You know,
or lose.
and I'm like you. I do believe that there needs to be a change in the judging as a whole, no matter where it is, whether it's in our country, in some other country, even if the UFC's run the commission, they've got to do
Yeah,
a better job of the judging. The judging has been, I mean, even Dana's come out and said the judging has been horrible in your fight. That was one of the fights with Gomi, where the judging was absolutely horrific, and I didn't realize that till months later. That,
yeah,
oh, by the way, any of these guys have ever reffed an MMA fight before. Here's your
yeah.
first shot.
Yeah, it's bad, and the worst thing, not even beyond like incompetent judges, but it's just the criteria is all wrong. I mean, we're using the same criteria that we use for 12-round boxing matches. Between you take a boxing match like between like Mayweather and Mosley or something like that, and these guys are world class, and it's going to go all 12 rounds, and we need to score it incrementally. MMA, you can't score a 5-minute round that has all kinds of stuff happening in it, and just do the 10-9 system. It just doesn't work that way. So they're forcing it to work that way because that's the way it got sanctioned in the beginning. But this is what we're dealing with. I think like 10 years from now, 15 years from now, we'll look back at a lot of these problems and be like, man, if they had that while we were fighting, things would have been a lot different. But it is what it is. We're in the Stone Ages right now in a way.
Where are you training right now? And where did you buy your first house at? What part of California?
I'm up near the airport, kind of like northeast of the airport.
In Los
Like
Angeles.
what's that?
In LA? In Los
Yeah,
Angeles?
in LA. Yeah. Here in LA. Yeah, like the Baldwin Hills area generally. And yeah, I'm at a couple of different gyms. I'm at R1 with Rico, and then I'm at PKG in Westwood. Yeah.
No,
So
no. Of course, I know R1 because that was one of the.
yeah,
That's when we met, and I first started when I moved
yeah,
to LA. Left it. Rico's still running it down there, and it's
yeah.
moved though. It's not in El
He's
Segundo
in
anymore.
he's
It's
in Inglewood now.
Inglewood. They
Yeah,
moved up.
yeah. So it's only a 15-minute drive from my house, so
Perfect.
it's easy to get to. I ride my bike there sometimes.
Hold on. A real 15 minutes or an LA 15 minutes, which is actually 2 hours. Which 15
Well, it
minutes?
depends on the time of day. I could get there in 15 minutes because I know like a sneaky little route through the neighborhoods. But in LA, 15 minutes if it's during rush hour for sure.
Now, how is PKG? Who's over there that's been working out?
I got a lot of guys that like unknown guys that are just up and coming that help me out. I've been training a lot with Cameron Diffley, who was in Vegas for a while,
Yep.
and he's a black belt in jiu-jitsu. And then there's just a good group of guys that come in that don't really have like a big name or whatever, and are just up and coming guys, just getting their feet wet in the sport and are really helpful. Dan Hardy has been out though for 3 total weeks of this training camp,
Oh wow.
helping me with sparring and drilling and everything, and so that's been really good.
How's Dan Hardy doing?
He's doing great. He's doing great, man. He's his life is unfolding, and he's going through a metamorphosis before my eyes. It's pretty cool to see, man. He's a good guy, man. He's got his stuff together, and he's turned into somewhat of a visionary. So we'll
Good.
see.
Good for him.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
break down Melvin Guillard, who's your opponent, come up here on UFC on Fox 8. Obviously, he's a big striker. He's very, very explosive. He's incredibly athletic. What else do you see out of him that I haven't caught yet?
He's dangerous all the time, and the whole thing for me is just going to be to remain calm, and like if I get him in a bad position and he explodes out of it, don't get frustrated, don't get upset about it. Those opportunities are going to come again. That's what I'm trying to master right now is my mind and controlling my mind and being calm in the right situations and not tensing up, because he's the type of guy that, yeah, we've all seen him get submitted, and we've all seen these holes in his game on the ground, but the fact of the matter is he's beat at least 3 Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belts that I can think of off the top of my head, by decision, and they haven't been able to keep him down. They haven't been able to do anything with him. He beat Gleison Tibau that way, Ronnie Torres, Rafael Camoes, and all these guys, they got frustrated because once they got him in a bad position, they thought they could capitalize, and then he's just explosive. He just gets out of these things. So I just see a guy who's tough, who's in the same type of position that I am in. And a lot of people say that he's never really realized his potential, and they say the same thing about me lots of times. But I think the difference between me and him is that I'm a lot more well-rounded than he is. And, he's dangerous, but we all know what he's dangerous with.
He's got over 44 fights. The
Yeah.
majority you've watched, have you seen a difference in him, a change in anything that he's doing? Was he pretty much the same guy every single time?
I don't know. Lately, I'm going to expect him to be at his A+ game. That's the only way you can prepare for a fight is to expect the guy to be on top of his game. But the last couple fights that he's had, he hasn't looked very explosive like he normally did. I expect him to be changing that though. He changed camps, and he's in a better place probably for him now. So I'm expecting him to be the guy that we saw, on that little tear that he went on, the guy that beat Shane Roller and Evan Dunham. I expect that guy to show up, and I'm gonna beat that guy. You know what I mean? But the most recent fights of his, he's looked a little more tentative and stuff. But that was when he was down in Florida training. I don't know. I really don't know what his deal is. It goes up and down with that guy. But I'm worried a lot less about him and a lot more about myself. You know, just controlling myself. You know.
Perfect. Well, Mac, thanks for coming on here with MMA Oddsbreaker. Good luck against Melvin Guillard coming up here in Fox UFC on Fox 8. It's gonna be great to see this fight because it's a dynamic of two different styles. You're more of slow and plodding. He's more of one-punch explosive power.
Yeah.
You got to see which one can put their game together quicker. The one that establishes themselves in the first round is going to pretty much dictate the rest of the fight.
Yeah, for sure, man.
All right, good luck,
thanks
Mac.
for having me, man.
Of course, buddy. Always. Tell Nova, give Nova a hug and a kiss for him. We'll talk to you soon.
I will. Take care.
See you, bud.